foggy. What's up, good people? Chilling on the porch in the bay. Almost 8 o'clock. Time for Revelations with Ray. What's happening? Zoom. Almost dropped the phone there. Hey, make sure y'all go to the Grayscale podcast page. Like the page, man. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you listen to Spotify or anywhere you listen to podcasts. I'm jumbling over my words. Tonight we want to talk about this cancel culture. I gotta chime in on the cancel culture. Oh Lord, it's getting heavy out here. I seen something that I just totally didn't agree with. So, right here at 8 o'clock, Ray gonna be chiming in on the cancel culture on Revelations with Ray, episode 2. What up, Big Jason? What's happening with your baby? We gotta get you on the show, man. We got to get you on the show. You gotta get one of them Saturdays off for me, so we can hire you on the show. We're about a few seconds away. Hopefully we get some people tuned in here, a few more people. But you see what I'm holding here? Aunt Jemima syrup. This some damn good syrup. I'm just keeping it real with you. You dig? So it's 8 o'clock on the head. I'm going to go ahead and put my 2 cents in. And what we talking about tonight is cancel culture. Ray done had a revelation. It's a whole lot of stuff out here getting canceled right now. They're attacking everything. Cinema, food, all type of logos. Now, some things, are truly offensive and do need to be quashed so that, we can get on to living in unity and peace. But some things are just an afterthought, and we not even thinking about, like my good old Aunt Jemima syrup right here. You dig? I got some as a black man. I got some in the cabinet, and I don't know the whole history behind it, whole story behind it, but I don't go buy this syrup because of black woman's face on it. They did some damn good marketing, but I buy it because it's good. The syrup is damn good. So, that's why I wanted to get on here and just give my 2 cents about the cancel culture. I seen some where they were canceling Gone with the Wind. And what really just blew my mind is I read a post about them wanting to cancel Paw Patrol. The kid cartoon Paw Patrol. Reason behind it being it was giving too much positive reinforcement or, painting the police in too much of a positive light. Now, my kids watch Paw Patrol. My son got Paw Patrol posters hanging up in his room. My daughter got Paw Patrol toys. To me, that's just, you're taking it a little bit too far. I'm all for people being held accountable, and the police brutality that does take place when it does take place needs to be checked when it takes place. You dig? We definitely don't, want to give anybody a pass on that. But I will be the first to say that my son has said to me several times, Dad, when I grow up, I want to be a police officer. I don't know where he gets it from. Watching his shows, watching TV, he says several times, when I get older, I want to be a police officer, which is great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a police officer, fighting on the right side of the law, and coming from somebody that grew up in the hood, for a time, went to jail, been to jail, had many interactions with the police, coming from a mentality of people that's just like F12, I'm fine with my son saying he wants to grow up to be a police officer. It is not the cops or the symbols that are the problem, in my opinion. It is the system that allows police officers to not be held accountable. Not all, But obviously the police officers that do get caught up in these situations to not be held accountable for their actions. Like, that is a system. If you get brought up on charges and the evidence shows that you were out of bounds, you should be held accountable, not let go. Now it's not just the police we should be angry at, it's the judge, it's the local congressman, or whoever the hell. Like, these are the laws, these are the things that are put in place that allow people to do things and not be held accountable for them. And it is built into our American policies, and the policies need to change. I was down at the march in the Feniac Springs this past Sunday with my man Jalen Jones. Shout out to Jalen Jones, young brother, you know, done a little bit of traveling out here doing his activism thing, not claiming Black Lives Matter or anything like that. He just, you know, God put it on his heart to get involved with his community and do some things to help his community. So shout out to Jalen Jones. But anyway, I'm down there at the march this past Sunday, and leaving the march, an interviewer or a news person was interviewing one of the pastors and asking him about, you know, the symbols and things like that, and he was kind of stumbling over his words, and he was saying that the symbols weren't important, but kind of stumbling to top it off. And I chimed in like, it's the system. You dig? It's the system that is the issue, not the symbols. Like, yes, the symbols are a start to get in the system right, because we don't need any divisive symbols like a Confederate flag hanging on public property. Like, it is not the Confederate States of America, it is the United States of America. No more than anyone would want a Jamaican or Black Lives Matter or African flag or anything like that flying on government, U.S. government soil. Why would you want a flag that is, it's a defeatist flag, like we said? So it's the symbols. And that, you know, brought me to this whole cancel culture thing again. I got my aunt your mamas, you dig? And you know, canceling things like that is just, it's just a knee-jerk reaction that is going to give people short-term satisfaction, where they're like, you see, we say this, you know, they start making changes. Well, taking black faces off of cereal boxes or syrup bowls or bottles is not changing nothing. You know, the money's still gonna get made because the syrup is still good. So whoever they put on this syrup, if it got the same ingredients, guess what? I'm buying this syrup brand. It's just that simple. I mean, the syrup is good. So changing the faces of logos, you know, depending on what logo it is, because the Redskins, obviously, after 83 years, about to change the logo of their team because it's deemed offensive to Native Americans. I don't know the whole history behind Redskins. You know, I grew up a Redskins fan partially. I am a Chicago Bears fan first, but I don't know the whole history behind the derogatory meaning of the Redskins. I'm just being honest with you. But if they say it's derogatory to them, then it's derogatory to them, you dig? So that's where we leave it at. But the Redskins, 83 years later, not changing their name because of they believe in social injustice. What's up with you, TJ, baby? I'm doing my little live right now for my podcast. Oh, word is bond, brother. Alright, I'll holler at you in a minute. Excuse me. So yeah, it's, you know, but they were forced due to corporate and sponsorship pressures. So you got to ask yourself, after 83 years, what was, besides the sponsorships, you know, threatening these corporate companies, threatening to take funding away from the Redskins, what is the other underlying factor that brings attention to this team to make them change their name? Because Daniel Snyder, the owner, is on record saying he would never change their name. And my guess is social media, the internet, technology. Everybody can see it. the world is watching America, and America cannot or can no longer go around parading as the freedom fighters of the world while holding up symbols and emblems that are oppressive to the people of their land. With that being said, back to the cancel culture, I'm not for canceling everything. HBO just pulled Gone with the Wind. We canceling cinema now. So are we gonna cancel the Django? Now, excuse the language, but they got a new movie getting ready to come out called Cracker, and it's basically showing a role reversal of if the black people in America were the slave owners. So is that movie not coming out? And what's next? Are we gonna cancel chicken? Are we gonna cancel watermelon because there's a stigma that say black people like chicken and watermelon? I mean, where do we draw the line? And to say that, I say we need to be very careful of who we allow to speak for us and to carry the narrative, because as important as and what they doing, Black Lives Matter is, and what they got going on, at some point though we might need to curb the enthusiasm of everything being offensive, because as a black man, I also don't want to come off looking like a little pussy baby, like everything just offends me, like, oh, my feelings are just hurt about everything, like you can't do nothing, you can't crack no jokes. So we gonna start canceling all of our comedians that crack jokes and make jokes about different nationalities and races. I mean, what's next? Who else are we canceling? What else are we canceling? I mean, we cannot go back and just totally whitewash history. No pun intended. No, I'm just kidding. But we can't erase history and just be out here like none of this stuff doesn't happen. Like, most people really aren't offended by that. Most people just want the system to change. It's not about the symbols, it's about the system. And people want to see a change in policy, not a change in paper towels. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to see a change in policy. We want to see petty laws taken away, victimless crime laws taken away. We want to see, less people getting locked up for stupid stuff like jaywalking or getting tickets and having to pay funds. Like, I do not care about Uncle Ben on the box or nothing. That I don't know who's the beneficiary or who Aunt your mama's descendants are, but this money probably going to black families. So why people out here talking about we offended if you black? I mean, you supporting black businesses as most people be saying, support black business, but we not talking about that right now. We talking about the cancel culture that wants to cancel everything, and it really burned me hearing them talk about Paw Patrol. My kids love Paw Patrol. So with that being said, I just think we just need to be really careful on who we allow to speak for us, and what we allow our minds to accept and drift to. Like, we don't have to participate in things that we don't agree with. And I personally do not agree with canceling this, that, or whatever just because a small portion of people are offended. Like, it's the policies, people, not the paper. It's the system, not the symbols. So that's my revelation. That's how I feel about the situation. I'm not going to stay any longer. Y'all catch us on the podcast on Saturday nights, 8 p.m. Central Time. I got another one coming up Thursday, another Revelations with Ray. And we going to talk about something else. I ain't going to tell you what it is yet, but y'all tune in. I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all have a wonderful night. I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. And make sure you go like the Grayscale podcast page. Check us out on all platforms. Appreciate you. Love you. The Grayscale is going black. Deuces.